I have the honor to discuss enhanced asphalt mix performance using reclaimed asphalt pavement and Fischer-Tropsch wax. Asphalt is an extraordinary material. As the European Asphalt Pavement Association points out, asphalt is 100% reusable, in contrast to other construction materials as concrete or wood. And the asphalt could be reused as an aggregate for unbound layers or for noise barriers, but that would be a downgrading and a devaluation of the asphalt. Asphalt can and should be used at the highest possible level for producing new asphalt mixes. What's that? Sorry. Escape. Here's an empty sheet on the presentation. That's yeah. Try it again. Yeah, but one is missing, unfortunately. Yeah. So I just try to present that in words. What is missing? The level of asphalt recycling is different across the European countries. And if we calculate the average percentage of reclaimed asphalt that is used in Europe for producing new asphalt mixes, this percentage increased over the last years and reached now around 10%. That's quite good, but that leaves room for further improvement. REP can be reused in asphalt mixing plants with cold addition and with hot addition. The hot addition has advantages and allows higher REP percentages. However, it needs high investment cost for a parallel heating drum. So most mixing plants can only perform the cold REP addition. And this diagram shows the both usual ways to do it. Number one, via a surge bin into the batch scale of the mixing plant, or number two, with a separate REP batch scale directly into the PAC mill. The cold addition of REP has some technical limitations, and therefore only up to 30% are possible. The energy for heating up the REP has to be transferred from the fresh aggregates, which have to be heated higher than normal. And this high temperature can damage the binder in the REP, for example, by oxidation. Another limitation is the moisture in REP, which releases high volumes of water steam, which may cause technical problems in the mixing plant and also with the emissions of the plant. For obtaining a homogeneous mixture of reclaimed and fresh material, the mixing time has to be extended. That decreases the capacity of the plant. And of course, the requirements have to be met. The requirements for the resulting mixed binder and the requirements for the aggregate sizes. And of course, for the finished asphalt. So at the end, in the worst case, we could have compaction problems and durability problems with the finished asphalt mix. With this diagram, we can calculate and define the required temperature of the fresh aggregates. If we, for example, have a target temperature for the mix of 170 degrees and we want to add 20% REP, then we would need 215 degrees for the fresh aggregates, but only if the REP is dry. For moisture contents between 1 and 5%, additional 8 to 40 degree overheating are needed for the fresh aggregates. What can be done to improve the technology of cold REP addition? The first and most important thing is the separate milling of the asphalt layers. Only if the wearing cores and the binder cores are milled separately, they can be reused for producing new binder cores and wearing cores. Other ways, it could only be used for the base course mix. And secondly, of course, the separately milled REP has to be stored and processed separately. Store and roof the REP so it's getting dry and is kept dry for avoiding wasting energy to dry it in the mixing plant, for avoid the high temperature problems with steam generation and with binder damaging. Moreover, the addition of Fischer-Tropsch wax or FT wax can also be used to improve the technology. Let us first have a look at the working principle of the FT wax. This diagram shows the viscosity temperature curve of bitumen. The blue line is for standard non-modified bitumen, and the red line shows the changes which are obtained when adding the FT wax. At the mixing and laying temperature, the FT wax decreases the viscosity of the bitumen and therefore improves the workability of the asphalt mix. If alternatively the temperature is kept as normal, if we reduce the temperature, we can keep the viscosity as normal. At the surface temperature of the finished asphalt, the wax stiffens the bitumen and improves the deformation resistance of the asphalt pavement. Coming back to this temperature diagram, I would like to discuss the temperature reduction reducing FT wax. If we again have a target temperature for the asphalt mix of 170 degrees and add 15% REP, we need 205 degrees for the fresh aggregates. Adding FT wax allows to reduce the temperature by 20 degrees, and that results in 175 degrees, or in other words, 30 degrees lower temperature for the fresh aggregates. And this lower temperature has several benefits. We have less aging of the binder in the REP, and of course also of the fresh, newly added binder. The carbon dioxide emissions are reduced, and also the bitumen fume and aerosol emissions. The energy consumption at the mixing plant is lower, and we also have some reduced wear and tear on the machines in the mixing plant. If alternatively we don't decrease the temperature but work at a normal temperature, we can make use of the enhanced workability of the asphalt mix. This allows a fast and complete homogenization of reclaimed and fresh materials, optimizes the compaction and laying behavior, and even the REP content could be increased. The effect of the FT wax on the homogeneity was investigated with so-called dry mixes. An asphalt mixing plant was operated just with the fresh aggregates and 25% REP without any new bitumen. Two types of REP were used. One contained FT wax in the bitumen and the other one not. The increasing degree of homogeneity was investigated or was visualized by increasingly dark color. The better the homogeneity was, the more bitumen was transferred from the REP to the fresh aggregates. So the color is just an indicator for the homogenization. In this photograph, the upper hump of asphalt mix is that one that contained the wax in the binder, which is, we can see it, which is clearly darker, and that means after that mixing time, more homogeneous than the one without the FT wax. So, a summary and conclusions. Does Fischer-Tropsch wax help to overcome the limitations of cold wrap addition? Regarding the temperature of the fresh aggregates, yes, it allows reducing the temperature and to avoid all these problems with binder damaging and steam generation. If we keep the temperature as normal, the additive helps to get a good homogeneity and at the end to avoid compaction or durability problems with the pavement. The additive can also help to meet the requirements for the asphalt. However, if the binder in the wrap was very strongly aged, it's very hard and brittle, then additional measures have to be taken. For example, as we heard from the Austrian colleague, the usage of a softer fresh bitumen or the addition of a rejuvenator. Finally, I would like to mention that our company will soon launch a new product, a new wax additive, which is especially optimized for the cold wrap addition. Thanks for your kind attention.